5 tips on how to get into property investing for beginners coming up. Welcome back to the Property Pilot. My name is Marco. I'm a property investor, developer and mentor, and today we're talking about the top 5 tips on how to get into investment property for beginners. So, first of all, little introduction. What is property investing? Well, property investing encompasses quite a large range of different property strategies. You could be investing in buy-to-let properties, or you could be flipping properties, or you could be trading properties, and there's hundreds of different strategies to embark upon. Now, why should you consider getting into property investing in the UK? Well, there's a couple of main reasons. Most people look to get into property investing because it's actually a rather passive way of earning a living. Now, not only can you earn some serious money and serious commissions and serious income, but you don't have to spend that much time actually doing it. So for example, let's say fast forward, 2, 5, 10 years, let's say you've got a nice portfolio of properties. Well, maybe you're only spending half a day per week managing and acquiring properties for your portfolio. What a great way to spend your life, and you can spend the majority of your days spending them however you should desire. Whether it's with family, whether it's undergoing a certain hobby. As you know, those of you that watch this channel, I'm a private pilot and I absolutely love flying, and I like to fly at least 2 days per week, and property allows me the freedom to actually do this. So briefly summarize here why people get into property. A lot of it is to do with income and generating a very good income. Some of it is to do with having the freedom and the time to do whatever they want to do, but also a way of passively generating an income rather than being stuck at a desk 9 till 5. So I hope this has somewhat persuaded you that property investing is more of a lucrative way of earning a living and a great way to spend your time that allows you to spend your time in other areas of your life that you want to focus on. So the first tip on how to get into investing in property is, first of all, we need to talk about your goal, and we need to talk about strategies. Now really these are 2 separate things, but I'm going to just encompass these together for the first tip. Now, what is your property investing goal? Maybe say it's to generate or build a portfolio that's worth say 2 or 3 million pounds, and you're concerned about putting that figure on the value of the property. Or maybe actually you're concerned and your main goal is to achieve a certain income through property. Maybe you want to achieve 4,000 or 5,000 pounds per month from property. So it's really important, first of all, that you define your goal and why you want to get into property investing, and then only can we come on to strategies and choose the most applicable and the most relevant strategy to help you achieve your goal. So let's come on to strategy. Let's say our goal is to earn, £5,000 per month from property. Well, one way to do this, and one way to do this in a passive manner, is to invest in buy-to-let properties. And maybe we need a certain number of buy-to-let properties to generate £5,000 per month, and that's our goal, and our goal can be hit. Whereas, let's say the other example, our goal is to generate, say, a portfolio that's worth £2 million on property, and that's our primary goal. Well, maybe we're going to be undergoing the capital growth strategy, where we're buying properties in areas where we think the growth and the prices and the capital appreciation of these properties is going to grow higher than average. So again, there are hundreds of different strategies that you can embark upon in property, and you've got to choose the right 1 or 2 in order that's best suited to achieve your goal. Okay, so tip number 2 on how to get into property for beginners: you need a really strong power team around you. Now, a lot of you are saying, what is a power team, Marco? Well, a power team consists of core professionals in your network that you can go to when you need them. So first of all, you're going to need a mortgage broker if you're buying properties with mortgages, which most people who invest in property are. So you're going to need a really good mortgage broker. Second of all, you're going to need a really good conveyancer and a good solicitor to help you acquire these properties. A solicitor that adds value, and it isn't just one of these online factories that churns out thousands and tens of thousands of cases every single month. You're also going to need an accountant that specialises in property, one that's going to help you save tax, and more importantly, one that's going to help you structure your acquisitions best, whether that's buying in a personal name or a limited company. And I've got a video that describes should you buy in your personal name or limited company, and I'll link to it in the description. It's well worth watching, and of course speak to an accountant because he or she can best advise you on what structure to start purchasing your property in. So they're the main 3, but again, there are other people in our power team that we may need depending on our strategy. If our strategy, say, is to buy property in auction, well, maybe we'll need a really good bridging finance broker who can approach lenders on our behalf and secure bridging finance. For those of you that don't know what bridging finance is, it's short-term finance that is best suited for buying properties in the auction because you have to complete really quick. And the bridges can bridge the gap and come in and lend you money in a really timely manner. And again, maybe a strategy we're undergoing is actually gaining planning permission or developing property. Well, of course, you need some really good planning consultants. You need some really good architects in your power team. So, before you even start thinking about submitting offers, get a really good power team together, get a good mortgage broker, a good solicitor, a good accountant, and then depending on what other types of strategies you're undergoing, a good mortgage broker who focuses on bridging, and maybe, a really good planning consultant and an architect. Okay, so a little bonus tip here, I'm not even going to call this number 3. Don't consider jumping ship from your job if you are employed right now as soon as possible. And here are a couple of reasons why you shouldn't. Now, there are some buy-to-let lenders that don't lend to you if you don't have a certain minimum income. So of course, if you jump ship from your job and you quit and you give your notice and you no longer have any income coming in, well, you're not allowing yourself access to a large panel of lenders who are willing to lend on you on a buy-to-let purchase. So maybe think about keeping in your job just maybe for the short or medium time until you've built up, say, a small portfolio, and you're now considered maybe a portfolio landlord, or you now have some property experience, and because you've got that property experience, you're opening yourself up to a large pool of lenders. Well, I'm going to contradict myself right here, but nowadays there are some lenders that are willing to lend to you if you do not hit their minimum income criteria. So what I would recommend here is consider not jumping ship and not leaving your job too early. Maybe get your first couple of properties under the belt, and that shows you the lender you've got experience. And then if you do quit your job, you're not restricting your lenders to, say, a more narrow pool of lenders that you can approach. Tip number 3 on how to get into property investing for beginners: invest in yourself. Really, really important. You need to upskill yourself to know what you're getting yourself into. The property industry is a minefield, and you need the skill sets, and you need to know what you're doing in order to be successful and to deliver a profit on your investment. Now, there are lots of ways how you can do this. You can invest in education, you can go on courses, you can go on training. Maybe you can bring on board a mentor, someone who's experienced in property and gone through exactly what you're going through and give you all the inside tips, tricks and knowledge to help you be successful in your property investing journey. And yes, I'm going to plug in my mentorship plans now. Obviously, as you know, I'm a property mentor and I love helping people get into property. So if you're looking to get into property, or maybe you've got a couple of properties and you're not best sure how to scale your portfolio, I love to help. I'm very passionate about helping people be successful in property. Head to my website www.msm.uk and book a call with me. Enough of that. We've assumed you're invested in yourself, or you've now somehow acquired the skill set and the knowledge to be successful in your property acquisition journey, and you've got everything you need to take that first step. So what now? Number 4, we need to act. We need to do something, right? First of all, start with your strategy. We're going to come right back to the beginning of this video. Start with your strategy, start with your goals. What is your goal? And I can't answer this question for you. I can help you get to it, but you need to come up with this on your own accord. Is your goal to earn a certain figure every single month through property? Is it to amass a certain value of portfolio over the long term? What is your goal? And once you come up with your goal, post it in the comments below. I'd be really interested to hear and to find out what your property goal is. Number 5, right, so we've decided on our goal and maybe we decided upon our strategy as well. Well, of course, now we need to research and we need to find properties to view and to purchase. Really important. So I'm going to give a little example here. So let's say our goal is we want £3,000 per month from property. Now, the best strategy to achieve this is the income investing strategy, where we're investing in high yielding properties that are going to maximize the cash we receive on a monthly basis. So we need to start finding these types of properties. We need to research and find these properties. We're looking for high yielding property, and there are some areas in the north that really tick the box here. So you may want to start off on the online portals, Rightmove and Zoopla, searching in those areas, trying to find properties that you think are going to work, trying to find properties that are a good price point that can hit your return on investment criteria. Well, I'm going to release a video in the future all about how to find really good properties on the portals and especially on Rightmove. But really, the majority of really good deals are off market. And what I mean by these are they aren't listed on Rightmove or Zoopla, and you maybe have to generate these types of leads yourself in order to get a really good deal. Now, I've got a video talking about lots of different ways on how to acquire property, particularly off market as well, and I'll link to this video in the description. So to summarise, we've gone over 5 tips on how to get into property investing for first-time buyers and for first-time landlords. Number 1, decide on your goal and decide on your strategies. Number 2, build a really strong power team around you. Number 3, upskill and invest in yourself. Number 4, act now. What is your goal? Number 5, research and start finding properties that hit your criteria. video. So those are the 5 tips on how to get into property investing. And for those of you that don't know, I release a new video on the channel every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 o'clock. And YouTube tells me the majority of people watching this channel are not subscribed. So do me a favour, it does mean a lot to me. Please consider subscribing to this channel. You'll see all the great videos to come in the future. So with that being said, I hope you have a great week in your property investing journey, and thanks very much for watching.